See the legs? Clutch time. Remember this car. We did the conversion. That guy right there, he ended up getting it. So he's been running how long now? How many miles?
It's got 100 and say close to 115.
It had like I think 105. So you put 10,000 good miles on this car in what? 4 months? 3 months?
4 months.
4 months. So between running up here and running to work every day, other stuff. So just as a gesture figure, I know we changed the oil already, and it's pretty much been problem free. We did just charge the air conditioning, but I guess you know how that is. The clutch is original. It's got 110 on it. Had 115. Had 105 on it. So and it looked all right. It held okay for the little bit of test drives I had. So I guess just running it, obviously they are what they are, so it gets run hard. So he said it's starting. You can starting to feel it go about 2 weeks ago, and we just now have time. So we're going to try to do this the most quickest, economical way and instructive way for you to see this time. So basically, simply support it with jack stands. Take your wheels off. We have a clean tub to put the transmission fluid in because it's fresh. And we're going to show you step by step what we got to do here. Alright, so on the driver's side, we pulled our axle bolt, our caliper, and we have it hung up to the side so we get movement here. I turn the wheel to the right, which pushes this out as far as possible so you have room to get in here and move this. We did put a little bit of tension on the ABS line, which really isn't a big deal. So we just basically undid that and then slid this over to the side and up our axle. Now, he's resetting his drain plug right now. Now we're going to go to the other side and we're going to pop the axle. Right now what he's doing is he's taking the 2 bolts out for the intermediate axle. Because the plan is to pull this, you didn't need to pull this axle up. Because we should be able to slide that out this way far enough without having to take this nut off, which is going to save us time. You know what I mean? You're just going to pull this caliper off out of the way so it lets this thing drop more. So anyway, he's getting those off. And then we're going to let this in here to see if we can actually bring it out. And if we can come out of the tranny far enough, that's one less thing you have to do to be able to do the job. Right here.
Oh, shit.
Alright, so we got everything loose over here. We're taking the bolts out of the strut now. I'm going to have to push up and down on it a little bit. There we go. Alright. We got all of our nuts and bolts off to the side. And this is basically going to be the same deal. We got to push this in here. Alright, there's that. Slide it that way. He's going to go in there. You should be able to come right up where, here. You should almost be able to just reach right in, dude.
And pull it.
Yeah. See? Needs to come the whole way out. Is it going to? You're going to have the room? Or not?
Nope.
Alright, well then means we gotta pop this out. So we'll have to slip that back up in. You can reach up in. You want to pop it out now? Just pop it and slide it over. Yeah. But should be able to. Nice. Alrighty. I was wondering if that was going to fit. Slid over far enough, but obviously not. I was wrong. So now we're down to, I think you have everything undone on the bottom right now, right?
The only thing I don't have done is the power steering lines.
Okay, we can get that. We get that when we get the charge pipe. So right now we're going to go up top and we're going to work on getting the battery tray and all that stuff out. So anyway, the first thing you probably should have did was unhook your battery. So we're going to get this out of the way. Work on getting our battery tray out of the way. We have to get our hard pipe here off. So we're going to pull. Last time it worked out, I pulled the throttle body off and was able to get access to that stuff. So, okay, so we're tearing into this pretty good. We got the battery out of the way, the battery tray is off. We pulled the vacuum lines out of the way so that they don't get damaged. Right now we're pulling the cold side pipe to the throttle body off. We're going to unplug this for the reverse lights. Shine it right in your eyes. Alright, just pulled the hot side pipe off the turbo, so that's not in the way now. Now we're going to get this tube here off. Sometimes it comes off easier to pull
from the bottom.
Yep, pull from the bottom, pushing. Well, you know, it had a good seal. It's coming off that hard. Factory pipes are a little less flexible. A little oil. It's not like you got a catch can.
A little bit of oil.
Which is normal. That's all normal. Now,
that it is.
You can unplug the throttle body.
Alright.
And then you're going to get to 10 mil and undo the bracket for the throttle cable over here. Alright, now we got that off. Now you got access, you can get in here and the transmission will clear the intake. This is so you don't have to pull this off. Usually I pull the intake and just check everything over there because it makes it easier to get to the starter. But you can get to those bolts from the bottom. So right now, up top here, there's two 18mm bolts. Back there you can see the cable right there above my finger. There's two bolts that go into that bracket. That bracket does need to be removed so the tranny can come out. You can remove one bolt, loosen the other, and then take the cables out, but it just seems easier just to pull the two bolts out. And they are 18 mils. Alright man, now where are we at here? I walked away.
Throttle cables are...
Okay, you got the bushings off.
Done.
You unbolted the two 18s that are down there that hold the bracket.
For the bracket.
Alright, wonderful.
The speed sensor is unplugged.
Okay, yep, we needed to have that undone.
And that's
Alright, now...
all the farther.
Okay, we got that. Now what we're going to work on is we have to pull the starter, okay? Right. So that'll be this bolt here, that bolt there, and then this one on the other side.
Yep.
Okay, so you can reach up from the bottom and then you can get that bolt and that'll completely undo the starter. They're 15, so it'll probably be easier if you get the one that comes from the other side first, yes. So, I don't know if that's easier with a ratchet, ratchet wrench, or what, as of right now off the top of my head. So,
we'll find out.
Okay, I'm just going to pull this one here. This one here for the engine. That way we can tuck this up out of the way.
So I went ahead and got the starter removed, if you can see it. That's unbolted. Now I'm going to unbolt the bracket
and that is two 15mm bolts. So I went ahead and took the bracket off, as you can tell, and the bottom guard. Now I'm about to start pulling out undoing the bolts that are in the back of the clutch off of the flywheel.
Alright, so what we're doing, since we're taking the clutch off, it's a whole lot easier to do this now. So he's holding the crank over there, and he's going to hold the power steering lines back so I can get on this. I'm putting this on here like this. I'm giving it a tap on the wrench to shock it. Because if they have Loctite on or whatever, they're usually pretty hard to get loose. And the wrench never really, see, it doesn't really fit tight, especially when it's a 12 point. That's it. We've got one done already. We have two more to do. It's all out. Let me see. Can you get this one up here? You got to come in here and get this one up here. It's an 18. There's one up on top of here, right above here. You'll have to get. You can get this one up here.
All right.
And it's got. I put it back together right because I made sure the bolt was through the thing here for the speedo bracket wire.
All right.
So grab that one out, and then we're pretty much done here on the. So we're pretty much done on the bottom. Once again, we're using the engine hoist, okay? Like I said, this is the easiest way that works for me. If you've seen any other videos that I've done, this is what I did, okay? We now have everything unhooked underneath. We have the two top mounts, mount transmission bolts are still in here holding the transmission. What we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the center bolt that comes through the frame rail right here, which is an 18mm. We're gonna lower the transmission down, and there is 3 15mm down in here. We're going to take them off, that way we can get the mount out. Alright? Hit it, Chief. We're going to need a 15. I don't know where you got the jack set at.
Underneath the over there.
Is it up? Okay, you're up. Alright, now we're just going to come here. Let that one down. Just hoist down some here. These three up here. Just out of the way. You can see the through. We got to get there, and that'll allow us to get the mount completely out of the way. All right. You got those three. Now you come in here, grab your mount, slide it out to the inside just like that. One more thing out of the way. Now at this point we are going to undo the two 18s that are holding the upper part of the transmission right here. Let's take this here off, okay? That way it's out of the way. And it's one less thing that we got to contend with. So that's a 13mm, and that should come right out. All right, we got that unbolted, and oh, it's alignment now. Hold on, let's see. That might need to actually come down. Are you touching it?
No, it wasn't touching it. It went down.
All right.
Which was scary.
Stop. Stop. Alright, so let's just set this here somewhere. Is it on? Yeah, we're on. Okay, so we got the bolts undone. We have the motor is supported. You can see we're jiggling around here. You're going to watch that. I'm going to let this down over here because I can't do both at the same time. And all we have to do is we'll have to get the rear diff and over this way and down so that it goes down.
Goes straight down,
and
yeah.
we also, when you're dropping this down, we really need to look to make sure that we are not catching anything, because if we're catching wires or the cables or anything like that, we could damage stuff. So we both need to watch out for that stuff. Here we go. I'm going to start letting you down. Good?
Hold on, give me a second. All right, no, I just moved the power steering lines.
Alrighty, sounds good. Okay. So now, this is probably the first time I did that. With actually, like last time I didn't have to pull the clutch off because that wasn't the problem with replacing the tranny, but pulling the clutch off actually gives you, it let this drop out a whole lot nicer, especially if it's a stock unit, which some people will have to deal with that, some won't. There you go, you can see through here. Well, reach in underneath there and pull the clutch off.
Check that.
That way we can see what we got here. We should be able to pull that all out in one assembly. There you go. This way we can show what we got here again. Alright, there you go. There's our stock clutch assembly. So, yeah. I had a couple hatch marks left in there. See?
Yeah, very little.
Yeah.
Very little.
So, what we're actually doing is we're taking the stock one out here that he said was showing some play. And we actually have a fairly decent used ACT clutch that we're going to install right here. So that's all assembled. I'll show you guys what we're doing for that. And we're going to remove the flywheel here from the motor now. And get this thing on. Alright, here we go. We're going to get the flywheel installed. I don't know why he's got to try to do it from the top, or maybe he thinks I want to see him spin it. Pull that off. Look on the back.
Yeah.
Do you see any marks where there's holes? Like a mark?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, so
Okay. That
has to go
is right. No, over that. Yeah. There's going to be two of them, yeah. No, that one goes there.
All right.
So, we now have everything washed off with some brake cleaner, so there's no dirt stuff on there. And I'm going to hand him this. We'll have to grab that, and we'll get it set over top. Now there is a pin right there. Alright, man. Pressure plate's all nice and tight. Clutch is all nice and tight. Alright. We are now at the point of picking up the transmission to get it in here. You're probably going to want to pull the shift cables up. Try to tuck them up in here somewhere. And then you got to really watch this one. Try to get them up in here. And this, maybe. If that'll stay. And then we want to really got to watch this. Try to get that one up out of the way. Okay. So last time I did this, man, it took me like 5 minutes to get it up in, like an hour to get it readjusted myself. So hopefully it's a little quicker with the both of us.
I gotta twist it. It was like that when I pulled it off. So you did something.
You know what? You're just gonna have to make it work, Chief.
I'll make everything work. Don't worry about it.
You just go like this.
That's what it was before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You fucked it up when you pulled it off, man.
Oh, get out of here.
It's all that high temp because you overrun too much boost.
I wish.
Alright, everything's in here. We got the trans lined up. We're getting everything bolted back together. Starting back in here.